Hi, this is Lynn Jacob, founder of MLJ Coaching International and creator of the 7 Simple Strategies for Success. Success in your business. And what I want to share with you today is how to improve communication in your business, and for that matter, in every relationship. In fact, it has been researched to confirm that the top 3 problems in the workplace today are communication, respect, and support. And I contend that if we just focus on improving our communication, then the respect and support issues will just simply dissolve. Now, if you've been reading my newsletters, you know that I've been in Australia for the last few weeks, and just recently I was in what we would call cowboy school. Now, what they call it here is a completely different word, and it took me days to figure out that our equivalent in North America for the word that they have in Australia is cowboy. So this is what I want to talk to you about today in communication. We frequently use words that we have a very clear meaning for, but the people who are listening to us don't necessarily grasp that meaning. And it doesn't just mean because we come from different countries. So when you're talking to your employees and you're giving them instructions on what it is you want done, are you 100% convinced that they know exactly what you're talking about? So that happened a lot over the last week while I was in cowboy school. They call it Jackaroo School. Of course, I was one of the students, and I went along, and I was listening to what they were saying and trying to figure out what was it that they actually meant. And I knew I would see in time. Well, if I were their employee, that wouldn't work so well, would it? Because they'd be expecting me to now go off and do what they were saying. So I'll just give you a few examples of some of the simple words that we have in North American English, but they use them differently here. So let me get my list. One of them is paddock. And we do use the word paddock in my family. Anyway, I grew up with horses, and a paddock was more of an enclosure. I finally said, as we were rounding up the next herd of cattle, I said, oh, pasture, that's what we would call this at home. Okay, and I also said just something else. Jackaroo, we don't have that in North America. That's cowboy. It took me until Thursday, Monday to Thursday, to figure that one out. Okay, maybe I'm a little dense. Another one, which I just talked about, was rounding up cattle. They don't round them up, they muster them. Muster. I'd never heard of that word before, but they muster cattle, muster sheep. As we're mustering, I went, oh, it's called a roundup. That's what we would call it at home. And another one is, oh yes, I said a herd of cattle. They don't have herds, they have mobs. Well, for us in North America, a mob is more like an angry group of people. But do you get my point here? What I'm trying to explain to you is that you have words in your vocabulary that your employees, especially the new ones coming on, don't understand. So, when you're giving instructions to your employees, I encourage you to ask them what it was that they just heard from you. And a great way to do this is to say something like, now, just to be sure that I've been able to communicate clearly what it was that I wanted to tell you, would you please tell me what it was that you just heard from me? I'm not going to get into all the deep training I do on this, but that is a powerful little exercise for you to do. All you have to do is ask them, just to be sure that I got my message across clearly and that you understand it, would you please repeat back to me what you heard me say? And there's a fabulous book out there that I recommend to all of my clients, and I'm going to recommend it to you too, and it's called Crucial Conversations, Tools for Talking When Stakes Are High. And I always forget the name of the authors, but there are 5 authors, and one of them, the first name is Carrie. So Google it, get your hands on it. Most of my clients get it on CD, and they listen to it for the entire year we work together, and they get more out of it every single time. So, if communication is a challenge in your business, and I know it is because it's a challenge in every business, then just take that one little step over the next couple of weeks or months or whatever. Get your hands on that book. and you will see the communication improving in your business as well, which means that things are going to happen a lot more easily, you're going to have a hell of a lot more fun, and you're going to be making more profits as well. So, why wouldn't you? This is Lynn Jacobs, founder of MLJ Coaching International, where I help folks just like you get the fun back into your business and get back in touch with why you ever went into business for yourself in the first place. Talk to you again soon.